Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Charlie Rowen here with a new video for you. In this video, we'll dive into the dragons from the fairy tale anime. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying, just sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. So let's get started. In this video, we'll be explaining the dragons from fairy tale. Dragons are very powerful beings that can only be combated by a special form of magic, created to do just that. The scales are so strong that barely any type of magic can pierce through them. This doesn't apply to Acnologia, who is unaffected by both regular and Dragon Slayer magic. Dragons can also wound each other. Dragons can speak the human language and share their knowledge with them. Some dislike interacting with humans as they consider them to be inferior to them, and they ignore humans completely. Some dragons only see humans as their food source. All dragons possess the ability to perform enchantments. They use this to give dragon-slaying magic to humans. Dragons also use transformation magic, though only the 5 dragon gods are able to make human appearances at will. Although dragons are very intelligent, they made a massive oversight which cost them greatly. The history of the dragons goes far back, years before their main show takes place. They were very intelligent creatures that lived in Earthland. Over 400 years ago, the dragons ruled the land, and humans were a food source for them. In the east, the dragons lived in harmony with humans, while in the west, dragons attacked humans. As a war was starting to form, Irene Belsarian, who was the queen of dragons in her country, came up with the concept of dragons passing down their magic to humans who could help them in the war. This was later dubbed Magic Slayer magic. However, not all humans can keep their sanity for too long, as 3 awful side effects start to take a toll on the dragon slayers, Irene included. A dragon asked for a truce between the 2 sides, believing that the 2 sides could live in harmony. This led to a civil war called the Dragon King Festival, between the 2 factions, the pro-humans and the opposite of this. Some humans were taught magic by the dragons and were asked to assist them in the war. This created a turning point in the war, and the pro-human side was now winning. But both sides overlooked a potential threat: the humans that were taught magic by the dragons. Many dragons were slain, which is why some humans were named dragon slayers. In one case, a dragon slayer killed multiple dragons that were both their friends and their foes, and bathed in their blood, but ended up becoming a dragon themselves. They became the Black Dragon and the self-proclaimed Dragon King, Acnologia. Facts and stories about dragons were collected into one book named the Dragon Historia. One story in this book recounts the tale of Acnologia, and how he single-handedly destroyed an entire country. Eventually, the dragons created the Magna Carta with the humans, agreeing to watch over them and be peaceful towards each other. On July 7th, X777, all the remaining dragons apart from Acnologia vanished. This included Igneal, Metallicana, and Grandini, who left their young foster children. After many years, dragons became myths to humans as they hadn't existed with them for years. However, Igneal reveals that they left because they didn't want their children to turn into dragons like Acnologia once did. They hid inside the bodies of their foster children via a secret art. This allowed them to create antibodies to create dragonization. They also did this to extend their own lifespan, as they had been left in a half-dead state after Acnologia took their souls with Dragon Slayer magic. By X784, society doesn't believe in the existence of dragons. However, when Acnologia destroyed Tenru Island, society's view was changed entirely on the issue. In the kingdom of Dragnoff, 400 years ago, humans and dragons lived side by side in peace. Western dragons, however, lacked the intelligence that Eastern dragons had, and hunted down humans as food. Dragons don't form families as humans do. Instead, during the breeding season, and later the conception, the newborn dragon baby is raised by its mother. It is sporadic for the offspring of dragons to see their father in their lifetime. Despite their destructive nature, dragons like Igneal, Grandini, and Metallicana care significantly for the needs of humans, and have even raised orphan children as their own. If they raise humans, they would teach them Dragon Slayer magic, so they are more like the dragons. Acnologia, however, sees humans as mere insects, even though he once was one. And Zirconis hates humans, and views them as a food source and nothing else. Acnologia has been described as the enemy of humanity, which was confirmed when he appeared on Tenru Island and attempted to destroy it. Dragon Slayer magic allows the user to turn into a dragon. This allows the user to be both offensive and defensive using their respective elements. The Dragon Slayer is immune to their own element's effects, and can consume external sources to replenish their strength. However, they cannot swallow the element they produce themselves, and they must consume it through the mouth. Dragon Slayers can consume other elements and combine them with their own to make them more powerful. There are 5 natural ways to learn Dragon Slayer magic. This doesn't include enchanting with it through the Dragon Slayer seal, as this is unnatural. The first way is to be taught by an actual dragon. The dragon slayers who learn through this method are known as first-generation dragon slayers. The second way is to have lacrima implanted into their body. The dragon slayers are known as the second generation. The third way is a combination of the first two methods, where they were taught their dragon slayer magic through a dragon, while also having lacrima implanted into them. These are known as the third-generation dragon slayers. The fourth method is to teach yourself dragon slayer magic, and the last method is for them to consume the flesh of a dragon or another dragon slayer, which are the fifth-generation dragon slayers. Dragon Force is the final and most potent form a dragon slayer can attain. Their skin becomes scaly apart from the third generation, who instead have scale-esque designs instead of dragon scales. The conditions required for the first generation to enter the form are unknown, but Natsu has gotten into this state at least twice. The first time was when he ate a Therian-filled lacrima, and the second was when he feasted on Jalal's golden flame of rebuke. Wendy has been able to enter Dragon Force by eating air that was full of ether nano, while Gajeel got into the form by devouring magical barrier particles. Third-generation Dragon Slayers can enter Dragon Force whenever they wish. With training, however, the first generation can do the same. Using too much Dragon Slayer magic has the drawback of turning the human into a dragon. This is caused by a dragon seed sprouting. This is known as dragonization. The only way to prevent this is for a dragon to enter the Dragon Slayer's body using a secret art, and sleep there for a large amount of time, creating antibodies that ensure that the Dragon Slayer doesn't turn into a dragon. In this state, the Dragon Slayer can still dragonize temporarily. The second generation can also take on dragon-like traits. Only a few Dragon Slayers have the ability to consume elements other than their own, which can be combined with Dragon Force to create an extended increase in power. According to the rogue that appeared inside of Natsu when he was unconscious, dragon scales lose their pigment when they are removed and turn white. This is shown when Anna Hartfilia used Igneel scales to make a scarf for Natsu. As of the year X792, Acnologia states that all dragons apart from himself have been eradicated, and the only part of their legacy that remains is the 8 dragon slayers in Ishgard. Multiple dragons are introduced throughout the series. Igneel has been dubbed the Fire Dragon and the Fire Dragon King. His Dragon Slayer disciple is Natsu Dragneel, and is deceased. Metallicana is the Iron Dragon, and their Dragon Slayer disciple is Gajeel Red Fox, and is also dead. Next is Grandini, who is the Sky Dragon, and their Dragon Slayer disciple is Wendy Marvel, and is deceased. Next is Acnologia, who has multiple titles: the Black Dragon of the Apocalypse, and the Dragon King. He doesn't have a Dragon Slayer disciple, and is deceased. Wycelogia is titled the White Dragon, and their Dragon Slayer disciple is Sting Eucliffe. Wycelogia is deceased. Skydrim's title is the Shadow Dragon, and their Dragon Slayer disciple is Rogue Cheney, and they're dead. Zirconis and Zirconis' spirit are dubbed the Jade Dragon, and they do not have a Dragon Slayer disciple. They are deceased. Atlas Flame is the Fire Dragon and the Eternal Flame, and is dead. Mother Glare, Scissor Runner, Levia, Dark Dragon, and Rock Dragon all don't have titles and are deceased. Belsarion is the Sage Dragon, and their dragon disciple was Irene Belsarion, and they are deceased. Irene herself was the Queen of Dragons, and shares the title of the Sage Dragon with Belsarion. She doesn't have a Dragon Slayer disciple, and is deceased. Animus doesn't have a title or Dragon Slayer disciple, and is deceased. Elefsaria is the Law Dragon, and doesn't have a Dragon Slayer disciple. They are still alive. Merphobia is the Water Dragon god, and does not have a Dragon Slayer disciple, but is still alive. Ignia is the Fire Dragon god, and does not have a Dragon Slayer disciple, and is alive. Alderone was the Wood Dragon god, and doesn't have a Dragon Slayer disciple. They are deceased. Selene is the Moon Dragon god, and she doesn't have a Dragon Slayer disciple, and is still alive. Lastly, Viernes is the Gold Dragon god, and does not have a Dragon Slayer disciple, and is active. There are subspecies of dragons named miniature dragons, that are small dragons that lack intellect and originate from the abdomen of Mother Glare. They do not have eyes and discernible teeth. Their bodies are made of metallic scales that appear to look like teeth as they run along the dragon's gum. They lack wings, but their claws are very sharp. Miniature dragons have enhanced strength where they can overwhelm average to above average mages without difficulty. Completely unique to the subspecies, miniature dragons shoot laser beams from their mouths, instead of roaring like normal dragons. The lasers can pierce solid objects and flesh, which leaves clean, round holes. These lasers can be fired rapidly. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all this information thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now there's a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has got you covered. Our We the Celestials My Hero Academia and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, then I'd like to extend you an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being we only accept members from 16 years and up to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interests by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for more members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching, and have a great day!